Coming up on this episode of Falmouth in Focus, we find out about Falmouth's new state-of-the-art combined dispatch center, kick off spring with Daffodil Days at Spohr Gardens, celebrate National Poetry Month with Falmouth Public School students, and Falmouth kids get a high five from their local police. All this and much more on this edition of Falmouth in Focus.
Hello and welcome to Falmouth in Focus, FCTV's current affairs program. I'm Michael Kasparian, president of the Falmouth Chamber of Commerce, and I'm excited to join you as your host. We'll start this episode with news about Falmouth's water. The town of Falmouth learned in April that the percolate rates found in a routine test at the Fresh Pond well were above 2.0 parts per billion, the maximum level allowed for that contaminant. The Fresh Pond well has been shut down until tests are brought back to a safe level. April 29th was Drug Take-Back Day, a cooperative partnership with Gosnold, the Prevention Partnership, the Falmouth Police Department, and the Drug Enforcement Administration, DEA. Altogether, 7 large boxes of unwanted prescription drugs were collected. Combined with the drugs that were dropped off at their collection box at the police station, the program has collected a total of 20 large boxes or 537 pounds, helping to keep our kids and water supply safe. Old or unused prescription medications can still be disposed of 24 hours a day, 7 days a week in the lobby of the Falmouth Police Department, 750 Main Street. Look for the big green disposal box. Concerned Falmouth residents gathered at the Village Green to take part in a nationwide March for Science for Earth Day on April 22nd. The event began with a rally, and then participants marched down Main Street to Peg Noonan Park.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the March for Science, Falmouth. Thank you for being here.
The March for Science in Falmouth is the local chapter of a national and international march that is organized to support science and scientific research in the face of questions that are arising about the importance of science in the public sphere.
This is a nonpartisan march, and its purpose is really to recognize the ongoing and ever-present role of science in our daily lives, in our community, through education, through business, very vital to Falmouth and the Upper Cape.
We have a really exciting list of speakers today that really vary in their backgrounds, from a few doctors, a teacher, a student, as well as scientists that use science to benefit the local community here. So we're hoping that people learn a little bit about how important science is to this community and to them.
I realized that communicating science was going to be a lifelong battle, and I promised myself I would never give up on people. Because if I did, I'd be giving up on our planet and the ocean that I love so much.
With the proposed cutbacks in funding for science, some of the crucial elements of the scientific enterprise are being threatened.
I think it's important at this juncture that scientists stand with all the people around the world who are standing up today and saying enough. We're for science, we believe in science, and we're committed to supporting it.
The March for Science is a march for the well-being of our species. We need science. We need all of you to make sure that science is a part of all our lives.
I think they'll come away, I hope, with the idea of seeing the relevance of science in their everyday life. And I think that they'll see that it's important to support science in any way possible. For them, it may mean how they vote. It may mean contributing to different scientific organizations. It may mean supporting the local scientific institutions that we have here. So it can take any one of a number of forms. But I think the first thing is for people to see the critical role that it plays in their lives and to understand that right now science is under attack.
So this is something we hope continues on after today's march. Basically follow the calls to action that our speakers put out today and get more involved and stay engaged in this movement.
The really big problems of science cannot be tackled by just one individual and one perspective. It's going to take all of us working together to wrestle with these problems for the betterment of humanity.
This is actually the first place where I have a science memory, and now I'm back with my PhD in marine science. And we're all here together as a family.
Creating a strong bond between the public and the scientific community makes scientific issues personal and strengthens the influence of researchers' work on society. We need this bond in order to communicate what we are advocating for.
It is phenomenally important that we raise the next generation to understand how the natural world works so they can become informed and active citizens of our world. Thank you so much.
Thanks to Andrew Richards for bringing us that coverage. It's been a busy time at Town Hall, and here are the updates from recent municipal meetings. Selections are chosen based on community impact.
The Board of Selectmen recently heard a report by Gale Associates regarding athletic fields in Falmouth. The Department of Public Works was tasked with putting together a working group that chose Gale Associates to help develop a master plan for the fields in Falmouth. The Selectmen were concerned mainly with cost, maintenance, and safety of the variety of field turfs presented to them.
I think what's going to come out of this report is some money needs to go to the fields, whether the money goes in through maintenance of enhanced maintenance of the fields, whether we add some turf fields. I think the report's coming very clear. Our fields need help, and the help is going to cost money. Okay. And I think we've gotten that message loud and clear. How we do it is a further discussion.
After hearing an update to the water filtration plant project, Water Superintendent Stephen Rafferty presented information to the board regarding the perchlorate exceedance in the Fresh Pond well. Mr. Rafferty noted that an acceptable level of exceedance of perchlorate is 2 parts per billion, and a sample tested recently measured 2.2 parts per billion. Mr. Rafferty reported an immediate halt to pumping at this site and performed the procedures involved with such exceedances.
Right now we are fine for the water supply. We get into July and August, we hope to have this situation more understood and know whether we can and can't pump it and at what rate we can and can't pump it. And obviously we're working very closely with the DEP on all of this.
DPW Director Ray Jack presented a contract for solid waste curbside pickup with Allied Waste for the Selectmen review. Mr. Jack reported this new 5-year contract is a 2.5% increase from the last contract with Allied Waste, which totals $2.498 million starting June 1st of this year and continuing until 2022.
We're one of only 2 communities in the Cape, Bourne is the only other one, that makes house calls on trash pickup. And it is an extraordinary benefit for anyone who lives in the town of Falmouth. And it's it's a service that we're delighted to be able to continue to provide. And with the board's concurrence, we look forward to that going forward. And again, I want to commend Ray for his extraordinary work. He really rolled up his sleeves and has brought, in my judgment and that of the finance director as well, a terrific package to the board for your consideration.
I'm very impressed, so I'm going to move that we approve the contract. I really appreciate all your hard work because I can see all the details and the benefits and looking to the future. So thank you.
Second. Motion second. Further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
There's none.
Thank you.
Thank you.
To see the meetings in their entirety, please visit FCTV's website at fctv.org to view the programming schedule. In this episode's calendar segment, we have a handful of events to highlight. On Sunday, May 7th, from 12:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m., Highfield Hall holds its annual spring open house, complete with a maypole celebration, a tour of the grounds, a chance to step inside an inflatable whale, and much more. There will also be music from Queen Victoria's Secret, as well as music director and pianist Robert Wyatt, who will be playing all of his favorite songs of spring. Wednesday, May 10th is the 4th annual Care for the Cape and Islands Day at Knobska Light in Woods Hole, from 8 a.m. until 1 p.m. This is an opportunity to come together with individuals and local businesses to help with the beautification and preservation of Falmouth's historic lighthouse. Team Maureen, an organization dedicated to the support, research, and awareness of cervical cancer, is having their 6th annual Run for Your Life Run Walk on Saturday, May 20th at 9 a.m. Registration begins at 8 a.m. For more information about the event and how to get involved, you can visit them at teammaureen.com. And visit FCTV's Mazer Gallery in May to view Speak My Language, mixed works from 4 different artists. The exhibit will be up until June 1st. Right now, we're going to take a break to learn about a set of adoptable cats from People for Cats. When we come back, we'll take a look at Falmouth's new Consolidated Dispatch Center, High Five Friday at T-Ticket Elementary, a poetry contest for local students, and Daffodil Days at Spohr Gardens. Stay with us.
This mother-son duo would like to find a home together as they've been with each other since Bubba's birth. Bubba is a handsome gray tabby who is a 1.5 year old, neutered male, and is up to date on all his shots. He's a tad shy, but will come to you for love and attention. His mother, Rosa, is a beautiful Maine Coon-looking girl, a very sweet, loving girl who is too up to date on all her shots and would do well by losing a couple of pounds. Stop by on our adoption days, Wednesday 4 to 6 and Saturday 10 to 1 at 44 Beagle Lane, Falmouth.
Welcome back. In the fall, town meeting approved funds for a new consolidated police and fire dispatch center on the bottom floor of the Falmouth Police Station on Main Street. We recently met with David Diago, the town's dispatch director, to learn how the new center has been running.
My name is David Diago. I'm the new communications administrator for the Falmouth Communications Center. I got about 20 years of law enforcement experience, 15 as well as a part-time dispatcher. When I arrived in Falmouth, the dispatch center was broken up into 2 different departments, one for the police department, one for the fire department, so they were totally separate from one another. The communication between 2 departments was basically a telephone. Both the police and fire department were working with antiquated systems, the computer systems, the software, the radio systems, the radio consoles, and it was a perfect timing for both systems to actually be antiquated because now we could take both departments, merge them into one, and only spend half the money. So we're increasing our services, we're increasing the technology, the information we can provide to not only the citizens but the first responders out there, and we can do it in a timely manner, more effectively and efficiently. The major advantages is we're allowed to bring many town services under one roof. So DPW could be calling for police stuff or maybe fire stuff. So now everything's under one roof and we can identify any issues with any of the departments, whether they be Department of Public Works, Animal Control, Marine Services, even for the Sheriff's Department. We can provide overall communications in one room. So we can information share between dispatchers and get the information out much faster than we could before with picking up the phone, dialing the police department or the fire department, waiting for somebody to answer and then provide them the information. That 1-2 minutes of gap is now taken away and we can get somebody there much quicker, provide quicker information to the field units and stuff like that. The technology in itself, we were able to upgrade the CAD system, the radio system, the live GIS mapping now we have in town, we can access here in the dispatch center. So we can pinpoint anything from anywhere and provide that to the first responders and get them within feet of where they need to be. The technology today is great, and we were fortunate enough to put all that technology in this room to make it work for the citizens. So currently when somebody dials 911, it gets routed into multiple different places. It starts at State Police Middleborough. And then once they determine it's in Barnstable County, it then comes to the Barnstable County Sheriff's Office, and then they relay the call into our center, whether it's police or fire. And at that point, we start processing the call. In the upcoming months, the state is implementing what's called Next Generation 911, and that's a GIS GPS-based system. So when someone dials 911, it basically captures the latitude and longitude of that cell phone caller, and it automatically transfers that call where it needs to, wherever the jurisdiction of that phone call lies. So somebody dials 911, it's in Barnstable County, it's coming directly here, as opposed to the state police where then it gets routed 2 or 3 more times. So this cuts out the middleman, gets the phone calls here quicker, and we can then send who we need to send out much quicker. So yes, I want to recognize the staff. They've had to put up with this entire transition as well, from being accustomed to working one way and now taking on a totally new responsibility added to what they already had. They put in a lot of time, a lot of effort with the training. They came in, they proactively seeking out the knowledge, and without them, this couldn't work. It really couldn't.
Thanks to Jeff Wyman for that piece. Speaking of Falmouth's finest, High Five Friday is an opportunity for young people in our town to meet police officers up close and get to know the person behind the badge.
High Five Friday! Good one!
Well, this is High Five Friday. Every school has a community liaison officer. So every Friday, the kids will show up. We're going to high five them as they come in. It kind of got started to make the kids feel more comfortable with police. They don't have too much interaction without it. So we want to implement this in the schools so they see us, on a regular basis. So they're comfortable if they need to come up to us for help or just to talk to us.
I get a high five? Don't kill me.
We were actually notified that we were going to have the police visiting our school to do the High Five Fridays. And I was very excited because I'm in support of the police coming to the school to set up positive relationships with our students. So having the kids here on that first day, greeting the kids, high-fiving the kids, was a great opportunity for the kids to develop positive relationships with the police, have another positive role model in their lives, someone they can go to for help, not see them as someone that's always going to come in when there's a problem or something that's negative in their lives, but something that's positive and someone, as I said, that they can go to.
Here comes the runners. Oh, good one. Oh, thanks, buddy. Hug's always good. You give me a hug too? Uh-oh, we're all getting... This is High Five Friday. Thank you. Thanks for not skipping me.
Thank you to Bob Fenstermaker for that piece. For the third year in a row, Falmouth Schools celebrated National Poetry Month with their Quills and Quotes Poetry Contest. 20 students from grade 1 through 12 were selected to read their poems and honored during a ceremony at Highfield Hall.
We initiated the Quills and Quotes Poetry Contest and Community Reading event 3 years ago in celebration of April as National Poetry Month. We've had a range of students participate. The contest is open to students from kindergarten all the way up through grade 12. And we've had an outstanding show of participation through the entries that we've received. And along with our colleagues from across the district, we have scored. And our winning submissions were featured at last week's event.
What's nice for some of our younger students is that they can use some of the poetry they've already written during the course of the school year. And as students get older, sometimes they write poems specific for this event. So you see a range of poetry. All students can participate in a meaningful way, and it's a great way to showcase creative writing.
The last moment. The winter moon was at its crest, his head poking above the riverbank. An old man was sitting, observing, talking over past times with winter fish, swimming under the reflection of the stars. He passed. The glittering moon was lowering. The fish slipped toward another bank. They called to the old man. A single lily, bobbing up and down, made quiet ripples.
Thanks to Ryan Weber for that piece. Spore Gardens held its annual Daffodil Days recently, and the scenery did not disappoint.
In the background, I hear the Falmouth fiddlers playing, and I'm looking at people meandering on the paths and questioning the different people at the information tables and having a very good time. Gardens themselves were created by Charles and Margaret Spohr. They came to Falmouth in the early 1950s, and they purchased 2 properties on Fells Road. And then they purchased approximately 4 more acres, so that today the gardens are about a 5.9 acre garden. And the gardens are the creation of Charles and Margaret Spohr. Margaret was the one who designed the gardens. Charles was interested in the what he called his decorations, which are the anchors, the millstones, the bollards, the cobblestones, and so on. And together they made a great team, and over the course of 40 years they created this lovely space. And today it is a beloved place for the community to come. It is open every day of the year from sunrise to sunset. There is no admission, and people love Spore Gardens and come here because they describe it as a lovely and a peaceful place. Of course, Charlie's favorite flower was the daffodil, and Margaret and Charlie in the winter, when nothing was going on, would peruse endless brochures like we all do, all of us who are gardeners, and in January and February, and then order what they could for that year and lovingly planted tens and tens of thousands of daffodils, which we have enjoyed all these many years.
It's very serene. I mean, today it's busy, but typically it's very serene. And it's just, really simplicity of beauty in a way that really can be enjoyed just by taking a walk. We're pretty fortunate to have this in Falmouth, so we're very appreciative.
Well, we'll definitely be coming back.
If you'd like to learn more about Spohr Gardens, you can visit their website, spohrgardens.org. Thanks to Liz Lerner for that piece. We're going to take another break and hear an important message from Cape Cod Healthcare. We'll be right back.
I got HPV-related throat cancer at the age of 54. I fought the battle of my life to survive.
My sister died at age 37 of HPV-related cervical cancer. She left behind her husband, her 2 kids, and me. At age 60, I was diagnosed with HPV-related cancer. I'm receiving treatment now. It's hard to believe that I might not make it through this.
HPV is a virus that can cause cancer. Each year, almost 40,000 people in the U.S. are diagnosed with an HPV-related cancer. With vaccination and early detection, most of these cancers are preventable. To be protected later in life, all children, boys and girls, should be vaccinated at age 11 or 12.
My cancer could have been prevented if I had been vaccinated when I was 12 years old.
To protect yourself as an adult, you should get the HPV vaccine as a kid.
When I'm a grandmother, I'm going to make sure my grandchildren get vaccinated.
The vaccine is recommended by the American Academy of Pediatrics and the American Cancer Society. In Massachusetts, the vaccine is free for children.
Because it's safe and it makes sense.
Because everyone wants to do what's best for their kids.
Don't wait.
Vaccinate.
You have to do it now.
Welcome back. Spring is a welcome time for us in Falmouth as warmer weather arrives and nature awakens from a long winter. Here's a stunning video showcasing early spring in Woods Hole from Brian Switzer.
The summer night rolls, the howling of foes, they call you. Oh, and from your reaction I gather that you don't understand. I have been told to follow the road that plants you. Have been gathering my own plans. Ooh, I hope silver proof. trying too hard just to please you.
Thanks to Brian Switzer Video for sharing that piece with Falmouth in Focus. Here at FCTV, we want you to know that television can be as easy as hitting record on your smartphone. We'd like to invite all Falmouth residents and visitors to share their slice of life with us. Email us your photos or videos, or upload them to Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, and use the hashtag MyFalmouth and Falmouth in Focus to be featured on the show. Thank you to our most recent contributors. We leave you now with the sights and sounds of an evening of jazz at Falmouth High School.